All right, it's up to you.
Yeah. All right. Back. For our second attempt at a podcast with no name.
The second,
We really have to come up with a name for the show.
we do. I don't know. I don't understand. What,
I don't know what it would be yet. I'm still toying with the idea in my head. The podcast about nothing. It makes it sound like a Seinfeld.
yeah, I mean,
Seinfeld podcast. And I definitely have to get booms for these.
yeah, because we make a lot of noise holding them and everything. But
well, yeah, I just don't. I'm not holding a mic. I'm not doing stand up now.
what are we gonna call this? Well, we can't even call it the weekly because we haven't done shit.
Well, we haven't committed to it yet. We're going to soon. Now that
the bi-monthly get together.
Now that the stupid ass winter is over.
Well, it's fucking snowing right now. It is not over.
You know, I told
April
you
17th, and it's snowing.
I told you yesterday that I had a feeling this past weekend that the snow wasn't done yet, and we had squalls this afternoon, which I conveniently used to keep me from doing the work I had to do. But I have to go home and do it tonight.
What's that?
I have to empty my truck. I still have another load of stuff. I'm moving.
That's right.
My mother's second residence is moving into my garage now.
That's right.
I got stuff everywhere. My daughter came in the other day and she says, "What's going on here?" It's not even. It's past hoarding. It's just the stuff everywhere.
Dude, I don't even know how you have stuff. I mean, like, I've been to your house that one time, and you already had stuff.
Like
You know what I mean?
I have a 2-car garage that I can't get even my smart car into. I have a bunch of stuff in.
Yeah, that's a big garage, man. That's not a small. That's not
no,
a
it's
garage.
a massive garage.
Yeah.
It's 2.5-car garage, and it's got a 15-foot ceiling, and stuff's piled up to the top. It's ridiculous. As a matter of fact, just yesterday I found pictures of the house when I went to go look at it originally when it was for sale.
Yeah.
And those people had a bunch of stuff in the garage, and it was like 1/8 of what I have. And I was like, wow, they got a lot of crap in the garage.
You're like, look at all this shit.
And now I'm looking at it and saying, if my garage was that empty,
yeah,
it'd be
man, you got a
wonderful.
lot of stuff, man. And yeah, your basement too, man. It's like what do we call that? It's basically the museum of failed workout experiments.
Yeah, but it's not cheap stuff.
No, it's not cheap. None of that stuff.
I have the ROM machine down. That was a $16,000 workout machine.
Right, but
Did you know that? That thing cost me $16,000.
Jesus Christ, bro! Buy a car.
Yeah, you're right. I'd like to trade it for a car right now, but
how much did that thing depreciate when you took it off the lot? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, well no, it's originally $16,000. I think I paid $10,000 for it. Now it's worth about $37. But that's the way it goes for me. Everything I buy is like that.
It's a heavy $37.
I know. But I even have stuff in my friend Nick's warehouse. I took a section of his warehouse and filled up with stuff.
God.
And I felt terrible, but it was nice enough to say, if you need me to put stuff in there. So. And speaking of Nick,
Yeah.
the owner and purveyor of Kanye's Thai Orchid.
Thai Orchid, yes.
Down in Stroudsburg, and our benefactor,
Yeah.
as it were. So we want to make sure we mention them. If you've never tried Thai food, this is definitely the place to try that.
Yeah, it's the joint.
Absolutely authentic. There's no fusion crap and no, you go in there, you're not going to find.
Nah, if you're in the Poconos, if you're in this area, there's no other joint.
It's straight up Thai food.
Not that there isn't any other, but there isn't any better.
Not only there isn't any better, this is rated the #1 restaurant on Yelp and TripAdvisor in Stroudsburg.
Yeah.
#1 out of I don't know, maybe a total of 100 restaurants.
Yeah.
#1 of all types of restaurants. So, and then the funny thing is, they make Thai on the appetizer list as Thai chicken wings, and they were voted the best chicken wings in the Poconos.
That's crazy.
I mean, better than
With all the bars that we have around, with
and
the
how about
famous
the chicken
wings.
wing places.
Yeah.
We have places that specifically, specialize in wings.
Yeah.
And they were beaten by Thai Orchid.
Dude, I can't believe I'm sitting here across from you right now and you're wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt.
Well,
I can't believe that.
and you know what? It's funny thing is, I bought this last week when I was in Austin, Texas.
That's legit too. It's got the logo.
Oh yeah, it's straight
got
up.
the WWE logo. on there.
Yeah. No, I was in I was down to visit my cousin.
Well, if you were in Texas, that's the place to get a Stone Cold shirt. I mean, he's the Texas Rattlesnake. That's what they call him. Yeah.
No, my sister's been living in Texas for the past 3 years, 3 or 4 years, and she lives in a small town called Kyle, which is about 20 minutes south of Austin.
Okay.
And about an hour north of San Antonio. So we went down there to visit her. First time I'd seen the place, and had a blast. Had a really, really good time.
Yeah.
I got the shirt because we went into a Ross Dress for Less down there, and I was like, "Gotta see if they have any cheap T-shirts." And I saw this. I couldn't believe it was my size, and it was like $5.
What?
So I was like, "Oh
Dude,
my God!"
$5? That's still a $30 shirt online.
I know, right?
That's
so
crazy.
I said, "I'm gonna wear this. Is gonna be my shirt when I
Austin
record
316.
the podcast. It's gonna be."
Austin 316 says, "I just whipped your ass."
I'm gonna wear it when I visit my mom, and she's gonna say, "That's a Christian thing you have on the back."
Yeah.
Like, no, Mom, there's no.
Yeah, there's no Christian about it.
There's no chapter in the New Testament called Austin.
Yeah. A drunken redneck came up with that.
But anyway, have you been down to? You ever been down to Austin, Texas?
I didn't make it to Texas. I have a friend who lives there right now, and she, for the last few years, because she was going through a tough time, and one time I was helping her through some stuff, and I just, just kind of reminded her one day, like, the world's bigger than Pennsylvania. And she was like, oh, shit, and she just started looking around. She picked Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
She picked it. She moved, found her husband. She's married now and happy and all that stuff, and been telling me to come visit ever since.
I'll tell you, you could do a lot worse than Austin, Texas.
Dude, Austin seems like the coolest place.
Austin is one of the weirdest places.
Yeah.
You know South Street in Philly?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the whole city is like
city.
South Street.
Yeah.
It's a crazy, crazy place. As a matter of fact, they're saying down there is keep Austin weird.
Yeah.
And I didn't know very much about it. I know it's the capital, but what's weird, one of the weirdest things, especially in this day and age, is that Texas is a ridiculously conservative state.
Oh, yeah.
It is as red could be. It's blood red.
Yeah.
And in the middle of it is this city,
Yeah.
which is so liberal.
Hipster central.
And, yeah, it's so bohemian. It's so liberal, and and it's the capital.
Yeah.
So it's really, really bizarre that should be the case.
Hey, but whatever, man. I mean, liberal city, but I bet every truck still has a gun rack in that city. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. They got their guns. That's, well, even the Democrats down there have their guns.
Oh, yeah.
That's not, but it was a very, very good time, and the food was phenomenal.
I gotta go. I should
We
that trip.
I said to my sister, you're going to take us to some great places to eat. I want to eat some authentic Mexican. I want to eat some really good barbecue. And it's funny. The last night that we were there, I went to the Ironworks barbecue, which is supposed to be one of the very best in the country.
Okay.
We walk in. It's actually in an old Ironworks.
That's cool. Yeah.
Thing. Very, very cool. And they have old signs hanging all over the place. So it's like you would imagine the old barbecue kitsch would be, the decorations. We walk in, and right away they're playing 50s music, which I love.
I love too. Me too. I love the 50s
As soon as I walk in, the first song they're playing is the Del Vikings Whispering Bells, which I love. I love the ding, dong, ding. And when I get online, and oddly enough, it was right around 6 o'clock or so, and there was nobody online. We walked in, and it's this incredibly fabulous place, beginning at dinner time, and there's one person in front of us.
Wow.
So we walk in, and my sister and her girlfriend were looking to see what they're going to order, and Terry and I are looking at the menu. And I just want brisket. I want 6 pounds of brisket.
Brisket's the best, isn't it?
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. But Terry can't decide what to get. She's like, oh, should I get this? Should I get that? I said, well, you like everything that's on the menu. Just give it. And then we decided on the sampler platter.
Oh,
okay?
yeah, one of those?
But the thing is, it had a couple of pieces of brisket, a couple of sausages, and a big rib.
Okay.
So I said, well, I really want a lot of brisket. This is not going to be enough brisket. So she says, well, if, try it, and whatever you want after, you go back and get more. I said, okay. So we get the sample platter. We eat the sample platter. It's fantastic. Everything's great. Fabulous, fabulous food. But I'm hungry. So she says, well, just go up and get some more brisket then, whatever. So I turn around, 50 people minimum online.
Yeah, you missed the window.
Out the door, down the street, and around the corner. And I'm like, I'm not going to wait. We got a plane to catch tomorrow morning.
Forget it.
I can't wait in this line for brisket. So I didn't get as much brisket as I wanted. I was really, really pissed off.
You couldn't have been like, hey, can I get some of that for takeout to go?
I should have.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it was funny. There was a girl standing behind me online who looked like she stepped off the centerfold of a Playboy.
Nice.
Absolutely beautiful woman. And she gets up there, she orders a half a pound of brisket, a half a pound of pulled pork.
Yeah.
And sat down and ate it like a cowboy.
Dude, man, the Southern girls know what's up. They,
No, she
probably works at a farm all day and burns it off.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if she's actually a cowgirl. But,
yeah, who knows?
She had the boots. They all wear the boots.
Hey, yeehaw! That's all I'm saying.
So later on that night, when the sun went down, we after watching the bats come out underneath the Congress Street Bridge.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
1.5 million bats. They come out for 45 minutes streaming
I
out
love
like
that.
smoke. So then my sister took us to a food truck. Because down there, food trucks are
Food
tremendous.
truck. There's a whole food truck like place, isn't there? Where
There are a
they
couple.
never move. They're just there.
Yeah, there are a couple of them, and but then they're also all over the city. We went to one of the ones that's there all the time.
Yeah.
Gordo's. It's called.
I heard about that.
Did you?
Because it was like a Food Network thing of Austin.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Gordo's, big, fat donuts.
yeah.
And we went up there. They're like $7 a piece.
Oh Jesus.
But it's about the size of about the same circumference as a cantaloupe.
Oh,
So it's a big piece, a big donut, and
Yeah.
it's flattened out like a fried dough kind of thing, like an elephant ear. On top, they put a half an inch of thick of cream cheese icing frosting, and on top of that, they put whatever the hell you want. I got like peaches and
So it's a fork and knife donut.
it's definitely a fork and knife
Yeah,
donut.
yeah.
But so Terry was like, "Oh, this is really, maybe we should split one." I said, "The hell with that." I said, "You pulled that on me once tonight. I didn't get the brisket. I'm eating my whole damn donut."
You get your own damn donut.
I did. I got a really, really good peaches with peaches and cream and peaches. She got a strawberry and Nutella,
That sounds good.
which was good. Nutella's a little bit bitter. You got to be ready because it's not just chocolate; it's got that hazelnut.
Yeah, it's hazelnut.
in it,
Yeah.
And she's European, so that's in their blood.
That's what I never even when I was going to Europe all the time with the band and everything, and it's like that's their peanut butter
Yeah.
to them. I'd be like, yo, and where's peanut butter? Like nobody does peanut butter, and they
No.
don't. They really don't. They have Nutella, and I'm like, you guys put chocolate on your toast every day? Like
They have very little
It's
peanut butter in
insane.
the whole continent.
Yeah.
In Hungary, where she's
Yeah.
from, there's peanut butter is unheard of, literally.
well, that's why like the girls that we're friends with, I call them the English muffins. They come from England. They come visit every now and then.
I
And,
don't know about that.
no, well, they there's like a group of them, and they're friends of ours, and they come and visit PA, and they go to hardcore shows and everything like that. And they always took care of us over there. Whenever they come here, they would bring, because like Richie in the band really loves candy. They would bring all the good Cadbury stuff because that's where it's
Yeah,
from.
sure.
And then when we would go there, or when they would come here, they stock up on Reese's stuff because of the peanut butter,
Yeah,
chocolate and peanut butter. They don't get it over there. You know what
that's
I
true.
mean?
Think about that. That's the only place
Yeah.
they would get anything was in the candy and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Reese's, they call it.
yeah, Reese's, yeah.
Yeah, but Terry sends peanut butter back to her family sometimes
Yeah.
because they can't get it. To them, it's like it's
Oh, it's
gold.
awesome, yeah.
It's
I mean,
gold.
yeah. First time I had Nutella, I was over there, and I'm like, I can't believe you guys put frosting on your toast. Like that's what it was to me, you know.
Because well, you know what? You go over here, IHOP. That's all they have is
Yeah.
is French toast. That's just eat it and go right to
Just-
the hospital.
Oh my god.
So hey, you were saying you were going to the movies.
I want to go to the movies.
Tomorrow.
I want to go see Ready Player One, because it just sounds like a total nostalgia fest for me.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know the premise of it.
not really.
All right, basically what it is it's a it's the future. Well, Steven Spielberg now did the flick,
Okay.
which I'm kind of intrigued to see. But it's been a book that's been out for a few years already,
really?
so it's nothing new. But he's doing the movie, and it's in the future. Future sucks. Yeah, it
always
always
sucks
sucks.
in movies.
It's in the future. The future totally sucks. So there's
Who's gonna make a movie where the future's good?
so there's a game called a virtual reality game called the Oasis that basically people live in on a daily basis because reality really sucks that bad.
Right.
Okay, so and it's like it really feels real because you're wearing full body suits. You're not just wearing a head mask,
Oh,
like
so
a
it's like
face
a
mask.
full immersion.
Yeah, so if
into
someone touches you, you feel it, everything.
Okay.
So
a 5 cents immersion.
so pretty much what it's about is it's about this thing, the Oasis, and that's where everyone spends their time because reality sucks. And the creator of this Oasis, he dies.
Okay.
And this video shows up that everyone can see, and he's like, if you're seeing this, I'm dead. And he's like, well, I've hidden Easter eggs all throughout the Oasis.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you know what Easter eggs are in video game language.
Yeah.
It's just a
hidden
hidden thing that
Right.
if you find it, you're cool for finding it.
Yeah,
you know, it's
you gotta push the switch this way 3 times and tap it twice.
Doesn't
and
mean
something.
anything. It's just
Right.
so. But he's like, and if you find this one specific particular Easter egg, you will be the ruler of the Oasis.
Okay.
So the whole world is basically trying to find
Oh, that's cool.
this Easter egg, and all across the board, during the whole flick, it's nothing but 80s and 90s nostalgia.
Okay.
Shit, because anything you want or can imagine or be or want to do can happen in this place.
Okay.
And from now, I really want to see it because from what I heard, there's a few other podcasts that I listen to, and I was listening to this nerdy podcast, and they kind of I've been spoiling things for myself lately, especially with the last Star Wars, which was a big pile of shit we can get into at another.
Right.
But like I ruined that movie for me because I heard it was so bad that I just ruined it for myself, and before I really saw it. So I listened to these guys, and what they said, I'm not going to ruin it for anybody, but what they told me is that the ending of the movie is not in the book.
Oh.
And they spoiled the ending of the movie. Like, I now know how the movie ends.
Okay.
And now that I know this, I must see it. Because for my age group, it's a very, very, like, I can't.
Oh, you want to see it now because of what the ending
I
is?
want to see it now because of because
okay.
now I know the ending. I want to see that.
Okay.
And it goes way. That's the thing. I'm not gonna. I feel weird about those because I feel like the only people that are gonna really get it and grasp it and feel it in their heart are people 35 and over.
Well,
Because
the movies can be made for them. That's it's a demographic.
I mean, just like the ending though, like when they the Easter egg we're talking about in quite the one to win it all is like I know about it. Mm-hmm. And special geeks around the world know about it.
So,
but like, if a 20-year-old's going to this movie, they're going to be like, "What is that?"
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
all right. Well, that's So there are movies for kids that adults wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
With whatever.
But once I heard what it was, I was like, "Wow!" I'm blown away.
So now I'm intrigued, and I didn't even, I
Yeah.
probably would have. I don't know that I'd run out and see the theater. It's definitely something I'd put on my Netflix list for later on when it comes out.
I'd like to check in the theater if I can, so I might go do that tomorrow.
Did you ever see that? There was a movie a couple of years ago. I forget what it was called, where it there were aliens coming and they came down and
Pixels.
Pixels. That was it. Yeah.
Listen, okay, this is.
It was a goofy movie. I don't even know how I ended up in the theaters watching it, but it was.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? And the rest of the nerdy video game world hates it.
Really?
Wants it wiped off the earth.
Why?
Freaking I don't know.
Anything, if you're into video games, anything about video games, especially nostalgia, you should love it.
Every real video game nerd, except for me, says, "Oh, it crossed so many lines. How could they dare do this? Nintendo should have sued for the way they used Donkey Kong and all this shit." I'm like, fuck you guys. That movie was.
You're gonna be dead someday. This is really what you're retaliating against.
That movie, I thought was awesome. I really thought it was.
I thought it was very, very inventive. I thought it was really imaginative.
I bought it.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, I bought it when it was $5, but still,
it wasn't a $10 movie, but
and that's also a movie too. Like my parents saw and they liked it because it was on television.
Okay. And you know what? I saw it in the theater. I don't remember what the circumstance was. It was a very good big screen show.
Right?
Movie.
Yeah, I could see that. See, I didn't, but I could see it would be cool
when the
centipede
theater. Stuff start coming down.
Yeah.
It's massive. It's up there. I think it would be a great IMAX movie.
Probably.
Yeah. But I've been thinking if you're into that, anything at all that has.
Nah, man, that movie got killed by the nerdy community, man. Killed.
You know what? The problem is the nerdy community. They're such sticklers for detail because of the nerdiness that they don't have any leeway for anything. They don't allow any poetic
It depends because I get there on in certain circumstances, like with Star Wars, like with this newest movie that came out. You can't do certain shit, and they did, and you.
But you can not like it because of its technical improprieties, or you can not like it because the acting isn't good. No,
there's a formula with Star Wars. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up, and I know it doesn't bother you or it doesn't affect you because you're a Star Trek guy.
Yeah.
You don't really know much about Star Wars, but what is the main thing in Star Wars? Like
the Force.
The fucking Force.
Right.
Never once in 40 years of this world that has been created throughout movies, television shows, books, comic books, never once has a deity been mentioned, a god,
Right.
or anything like that. There's just been the Force, the good and the light side and the dark.
Right. They haven't been able to parallel it with the
Now,
Jesus story or anything.
with this new fucking movie, may the Force be with you and Godspeed.
Oh.
Killed me. What do you mean Godspeed?
Yeah, that's okay.
What
No,
are
I
you
see
ta-
that. I understand that.
What are
I
you
see you're
talking
saying.
about? In 40 years, we haven't said God anything.
Right.
It used to just be, may the Force be with you and also with you. Just like,
in a world without religion,
Right.
the word God wouldn't exist.
And the religion is the Jedi.
Yeah.
It's the Jedi religion. They're like the monks.
Is that supposed to take place in the future or in the past?
Listen, man, it's a galaxy a long time ago and a galaxy far, far away.
So it's not us.
It's not. There's nothing earthly about it. See, Star Trek, you
okay.
can mention God because they're from Earth.
Right.
And
Okay, so Star Wars has nothing to do with Earth.
there is no earthly
past, present, or
value
future.
to Star Wars whatsoever.
Okay,
it is seriously planets and galaxies that we have no clue.
Okay, so that Godspeed thing is a stupid glitch.
So bad.
It's not. It doesn't make any sense.
So bad.
But did they harp on it? Or was it just they said it one
No,
time?
they said it
and
like
you lost your
four.
mind?
They said it like 4 times, and I was pissed.
All right, well,
I was like, you don't put that next to the Force be with you. Don't do. You know.
I wouldn't say. Did it ruin the movie?
Yeah, no, that didn't ruin the movie. There was other things that ruined the movie. I mean, I don't want to get into it, but I mean, if anybody's listening, and you want to argue with this, you want to write on a Facebook page or go find me, Greg Big Show Larson, on Facebook and battle me. I don't give a shit because I like that stuff. Like anything.
I have a question
If
for you.
you loved it, tell me.
I have a question for you about the Star Wars. We've talked about Star Wars on the show several times, on the old show, and
Oh yeah.
and you and I talk about it all the time. But here's a question: is the last 4, 5, 6 movies, okay, since the initial trilogy, let's say, okay. Or even maybe, I guess the question would even encompass everything from The Empire Strikes Back on.
Empire Strikes Back?
Which was the second movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Best movie.
Okay. Can anybody watch any of these movies individually, having never seen any of the other ones before, and understand what's going on?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So this last one, which was called, I don't know,
The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. Could some schmo come up and say, "Oh, here's a Star Wars movie. I don't know which one it is. Whatever. I'm going to pop it in and watch it."
Especially this last one?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Because
so each one individually is a story that you don't need to know backstory on.
But there's always the underlying backstory, but each one does have its own things happening. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I mean, of course. Okay, so this last one, The Last Jedi, the one before it was Force Awakens.
Okay.
It ended with, we wanted to find Luke Skywalker, so we found him on this deserted island on a mountain, and that's how it ended. That's how this new one began.
But
you know
do you
what I
need
mean?
to know what happens in the previous one? I mean, the movies, the movies, the series of movies was filmed and presented out of order anyway.
It was filmed and presented out of order because of budget, and he was like, let me just start where the action is.
And you've told me that if I was going to sit down and watch all 9 of the main movies,
right,
that I should start
with the original trilogy.
Right, we should start with number 4.
With 4.
Okay. Yeah. So essentially, everybody started in the middle, without knowing what happened.
We didn't know that though.
I mean, and in any movie that you ever see, you're coming into people's lives, the characters' lives, in the middle of their lives.
Yep.
You don't know anything about them beforehand initially, whatever you find out during the movie, it's written in. So, but there are some movies okay, especially sequels, but not necessarily, that you, well, no, it have to be a sequel. A lot of sequels where you have to know something that happened in the movie before to understand what's going,
No, there are those. I mean, I would think if you watched a Star Wars movie out of order, like if you watched Empire first, I think you'd question though. Still, you'd be like, wait, but why is it? Because there are things that you're going to be like, why are they here? Why are they fighting that? You know what I mean?
But how many of those questions did you ask yourself in 1977 after you
saw? I didn't.
You know what I mean? The initial,
I didn't, because first of all, I was 1.
I know.
Second of all,
besides that, but after, did the first Star Wars movie you ever saw was it Star Wars? Was it New Hope?
Tell you the truth, I think it was Empire Strikes Back.
So perfect. So
Yeah.
that answers the question. You saw the second movie.
Yeah, but
first.
as a kid, I didn't care because as a kid, it was like it was lightsabers and spaceships.
Shoot 'em
you know what
up,
I mean?
bang, bang.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
but
yeah.
the thing is, just like you say, if you watch Empire Strikes Back first, you're gonna have questions. When people watch The New Hope, they have questions.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You didn't know things about the characters that you found out
No.
later on. That and did you wonder about them, or was it just?
See, that's the whole thing too. Is that like A New Hope actually even because Obi-Wan Kenobi describes stuff about the past. You know, oh well, back in the Clone War days and stuff when I knew your dad. And he's talking about Darth Vader to Luke Skywalker. People still didn't question. People at that time weren't like, oh really? I want to know about Darth Vader as a child. It wasn't until my stupid generation got old and was like, we want to know about Darth Vader as a child, and then made the dumb prequels.
Okay,
You know,
but
like-
this is the thing. When they wrote that line into the first movie, okay,
Right.
blah blah blah, back in the Clone Wars, okay,
Yeah.
was that written already in previous chapters, or they weren't written yet? And then later on, when they wrote the prequels, they had to say, okay, now we're gonna have to talk about when he said the Clone Wars is number 4. We gotta create Clone Wars.
See now, check this out. I think it's a bullshit story
Yeah.
that that at least 6 chapters were written. I think it's bullshit.
Okay.
I think he had because those prequels were not pre-written back in the day. Those prequels were written
With the knowledge
in the
of what comes
90s,
fu-
in the late
future.
90s, and blah blah blah.
With the knowledge of what's going to happen
Right.
in the future. Right.
So the 4, 5, and 6 that we got, I think were written, and maybe he had like backstories. Maybe he did have a couple little chapters of backstory, but was like, look, here's where I'm going to begin because they're only giving me this amount of money. I got no time to tell this story. So I don't think it was ever fully written. You know what I mean? I don't think there was a movie about the Clone Wars written before
I
New Hope.
think I would agree because every time they made a new movie, they had to choose somebody to
Right,
write the
because
story.
everybody,
so
well, George Lucas wrote. He didn't direct everything, but he wrote.
He wrote. He maybe he sketched. Maybe he had an
Right.
outline. He didn't have.
Because it was always written by George Lucas, but the only movie he ever directed was New Hope.
Right.
And then when the prequels came out, he did all of them pieces of crap. And
No.
but
You know, the funny thing is when I watch a movie, okay, a drama or an action movie, maybe even a comedy, I don't get hung up on. Gee, I wonder what these people's lives were like when they were young. I wonder where they came from. I don't get hung up in that. However, I just watch the movie for its entertainment. I watch it for the story I'm being told. But, I mean, I accept that they have passed, but I don't really care what they were. It's not important to me. But I can definitely identify when a character is not developed enough for me to give a shit.
yeah,
You know, the movies that I hate are movies where I'm not invested in any of the characters. I have
Right.
you come on and all of a sudden they're doing these wacky things, but I had no previous notion that they were a wacky person,
right.
you know, or whatever. I have to develop a character somehow. And that's, I guess, what a screenwriter, you know,
Yeah,
comes into play.
yeah. You got to come up with you got to make every character's got to have a backstory to play off of. I guess you know.
Yeah.
Why are you the way you are?
I'm surprised you didn't go to film school.
I
you
would
would've dug that.
I would have loved to. No, what I tried to do, I did film class in high school,
Yeah.
and I did film class. I did media class where I got to shoot film and edit.
And all that wasn't enough to make you go, I'm going to film class?
No, because I wanted to go to music.
Oh, okay.
So my whole thing was that I was trying to go to music college, just couldn't afford it. Because I wanted to do actually what we're doing here. I wanted to control the board. I wanted to do like studio work, and just couldn't afford to go.
You should have done what Kevin Smith did. Go to school, run up
Yeah.
a bill, don't pay it, and then cut out in the
Yeah,
end.
I would have loved to. I'm surprised I didn't think about doing movies and stuff. Music was always more my thing
Yeah.
back then. Now I'm shifting because like I got it when it comes to the music and stuff like that. I mean, it's always still in me. I still kind of want to play, but I'm jaded, man. I'm just
How much do you pay attention to the music when you see a movie?
a lot.
Yeah.
It means a whole lot to me actually because there's movies that I like that are shitty, but I like them just because the soundtrack's great.
Yeah, well, you know, the funny thing is, one of my favorite movies of all time is always picked as one of the worst movies ever made.
What's that?
Xanadu.
Oh yeah, but
Okay.
that's isn't that Olivia?
That's Olivia Newton-John,
Yeah.
who I had a crush on. Gene Kelly, who I think is one of the most incredible,
Right.
personas ever. And the music was more than half of it was the ELO,
Yeah.
which is my
Oh, yeah,
favorite,
yeah,
favorite band of all time.
But like I love good. I guess growing up I could say I was a John Williams fan because I love movies with a theme.
Right.
That go through, like Indiana Jones, Star Wars has the theme, things like that.
A leitmotif.
Yeah.
A leitmotif.
There you go.
Never got a chance to
but
use that
like
word.
one of the now I don't care. People call this one of the shittiest movies ever made. I still to this day think it's phenomenal, and it is crap.
Mm-hmm.
Beastmaster.
Oh.
But the score
Yeah.
for Beastmaster,
Is that John Williams?
no, but
is it?
it's I don't know who it is, but it's like John Williams did that thing, and it's an ongoing theme throughout the movie, and it's epic and it's incredible, and that's what if that movie didn't have that score, it would be a Conan ripoff and it would suck.
Yeah.
But that score made it for me, even as a kid. That's why I like that movie.
It's funny how so few people are aware of the music, but if you take the music out of the movie,
Oh,
people
yeah.
go, something's definitely missing.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why I not to say I didn't like it, but it was awkward to me that that thing you made me watch, Louis' thing.
Horace and Pete's.
Horace and Pete's. Now I loved it, I really did, but because it was like a play
Right.
on television,
Uh-huh.
no background music, no different cuts, no different. It was just like you're staring at it at one angle, and
Right.
we're just watching it. It felt awkward because of that. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I think they wanted you to feel awkward. They wanted you to feel uncomfortable.
I still think about it constantly.
It definitely
It's
puts,
stuck with me.
I'm glad you
Way
brought it up because I want to talk about it. It's the kind of I don't know what would you say. It's a series, okay? It's a series.
It is a series.
They say it's season 1, but I don't think they're making it anymore.
No, they'll never be. They
No.
just have to call it so.
But it's a 10 episode series that Louis C.K. made, and I think it's one of the greatest pieces of drama I've ever seen.
Dude, it is phenomenal.
Because it makes you feel so uncomfortable. It's like when you're in a room with family,
Yeah.
and everything's going fine at Thanksgiving, and everybody's all of a sudden 2 people start arguing,
And everybody shuts up.
and everybody's
and
like, "Oh my God, what's going on?"
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Get
It's
the
like-
awkward silence.
right? Like
Yeah.
you're sucked into it, and you're like, I really shouldn't be watching this.
And that's
I
what it was. It
shouldn't
was an awkward silence the whole time because there's no music unless somebody played the jukebox or the one time the dude played the piano.
be-" Right, or the beginning and end of each scene was just a couple of notes
Just
by
a couple
Paul
of,
Simon.
yeah, just a strum of the guitar. Yeah, that's it.
And it was so minimalist
Yeah.
that it was wonderful.
That was depressing as much as the show.
I
You
know.
what I mean?
Because
Like,
you want to hear more Paul Simon.
yeah,
But you know what? The theme song to it is really actually a cute little song.
it's good. I mean,
You know.
I was impressed when it all was said and done. But yeah, that uncomfortable is the word.
Yeah, right.
Unsettled.
But you know what? Have you ever heard a person describe a movie as it made me uncomfortable?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't hear that much. I know people say, well, it was a happy movie, it was a sad
Yeah.
movie, it was an exciting movie,
But see,
depressing,
a lot of
but
things that-
uncomfortable.
I've seen some stuff that's uncomfortable. Some stuff that you've made me watch has made me uncomfortable that you love. But anyway,
It's designed to make you feel that way.
uncomfortable though could come from the music as well.
Oh, sure.
You know, you could be watching something, but if the music wasn't there, making you uncomfortable, like
You know what's the funny thing? When you feel uncomfortable in a really uncomfortable situation, one of the things that people do is they go, do.
Yeah.
You know, they add
you.
music, a couple of notes of music,
wait
just
till my
to kinda
mother
like,
hears that one.
da-da-da-da-da-dum. And that's what the way the music served
Yeah.
during that show. Because I showed the first episode to Terry, and she was like, "What is this shit?"
Yeah,
she
yeah.
had no patience for
Well,
it.
the first time you were like, dude, you gotta watch this. I watched the first episode. I said the same thing to myself. I go, what's he doing to me? I love Louis, but what are you doing?
You know what? But this was my attitude about it. For 10 episodes, you can hang in and see what it is. Get
Yeah.
into it.
Well,
give it 2 or 3, and then you want to know.
No, yeah, I gave it everything because not only was it Louis C.K., but damn, what a cast, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, ultimate cast. Alan Alda and freaking Steve Buscemi and what's her face, Edie Falco and
Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright.
The,
Stephen Wright.
Nick DiPaolo.
He came in every day just drinking apple juice.
Yeah.
Just drinking shots of apple juice.
You know who else was very good in that? She wasn't in all the Edie Bryant.
Yeah.
From SNL.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And then the cameos
I
were
forgot
great.
about that.
Paul Simon shows up, and the mayor of New York, de Blasio, is in there.
And then who was the girl with Tourette's? She was from Louis' show.
Oh, by the way, what's her name was in there from Laurie Metcalf?
Yeah, oh
she
my
was
God,
in
that's
there.
right. That one episode.
What was the one with Tourette's?
the one, yeah, and she started hanging out with Steve Buscemi.
I forget her name, the actress.
She was freaking hilarious.
Very,
though,
very
man.
funny. Just a really good show.
Yeah.
Really good show. And I think, you know what? That felt good because we haven't talked about Louis C.K. in a while.
Yeah, well, people need to.
I want to see Louis C.K. back on. I want to see him.
I think we will. I've been watching a lot of things where comedians are talking about him, and you got half and half. Half of them are being like, oh, it's awful what he did, and he needs to pay for what he's done, and blah blah. And then there was another guy I was watching going, he didn't do anything. He proposed.
I would say this.
Things.
From what they say he did and what he admits to having done.
Right.
Okay. I would say that he didn't do nothing, but what he did doesn't require the ending of a very, very, very successful career.
He's not a Weinstein.
No.
He's not a Weinstein. He's not even a Cosby.
No. Well, these men very, very obviously and repeatedly broke a law,
Right.
as well as doing something sociopathic and hurtful.
Right.
Okay, very, very, very just antisocial and against the law and heinous. And what Louis C.K. did was not in that ballpark. Yes, he did something wrong, and does doing something wrong require that you have some kind of punishment? Yes, sure.
Yeah, sure. But not. I mean, the guy has been ostracized. Is that
People
the word?
in America are always screaming. As soon as somebody does something, or the slightest amount off the straight and narrow, fire them.
Yeah, get him out of here.
You know. And no, that's not. What are you doing over there?
I don't know, man. I'm
tangled up.
I'm tangled up in our show.
Cable's running all over the place.
I don't know. That's all right. I just needed to stretch my legs out, man.
So yeah, I think that it's ludicrous, and I miss Louis C.K. I miss his. And you know what? I was driving about 2 or 3 days ago and listening to XM's comedy channels.
Yeah.
And I actually heard on their classic comedy channels they played some Louis C.K.
They were playing some. Oh,
yes,
good.
and I feel really good about that because it started to make me think that maybe they're gonna, he's gonna be able to.
Because I actually, I late at night, if I'm not doing nothing, I'll watch some YouTube clips of some comedy guys and stuff like that. And I'll always watch some of his stuff that I've never seen, like when he's on talk shows or something like that. He's always throwing a few bits out here and there.
Always fabulous.
Always good.
Always fabulous.
And and it's stuff, it's material you're not going to see when he's on stage because that's his filthy stuff, and he actually pulls out some clean material that you don't hear, and it's awesome.
He's got stuff that will appeal to everybody.
Everyone.
And he's a very, very, very good comedian.
It's a shame. Who I've been really getting into a lot again lately, though. I go back and forth with this guy, but it's always because I kind of forget he's there, and then I'm like, oh yes, freaking Bill Burr, man.
Bill Burr's, you know what? Bill Burr never became. He never ascended to the top, the summit of the mountain, but he was only a step or two below.
Yeah.
And Bill Burr is one of those guys that, if you've never heard of him, he's somebody that a lot of comedians actually look to.
Oh yeah.
As somebody who gave them the impetus to get into comedy.
Comedy, yeah.
He's very, very, very funny.
Dude, he is. Some of his shit just kills me. Like I was thinking about it at work today. I was like, because I'm talking to people all over the world all day long. Whether they want to be mean or not, I still got to have a smile on the phone.
Yep.
Be nice, all this shit. And I'm thinking, just like he said in one of his jokes, he's like, what if I just got up and slammed my head through this plate glass window and just bled out right here? I wouldn't have to answer the next phone call. I mean, everything be fine.
That's him.
And I think he said that because he agreed to make a Thanksgiving pie and then forgot.
God.
And he's like, what if I just put my head through this window, bleed out? I wouldn't have to make the pie.
That'd be okay. Somebody who I listened to yesterday, who I never really care for, but I listened to him yesterday and I was like, he really isn't that bad. It's pretty funny. Louis Anderson.
Oh, Louis Anderson's classic, man.
I don't remember hearing a lot of his stuff, but it always just seemed like he whined to me, that whining.
Yeah.
I don't really get into the whining, but I like actually listen to some of his comedy bits,
Yeah.
and they're pretty funny. He doesn't do. I thought the whining was going to overtake the jokes.
Like, take
And it doesn't,
take something away
okay?
from it. Yeah.
So I'm taking him out of my basement. Okay. I tell you who will never come out of my basement, and I actually got stuck listening to her on the radio again for a couple of. One of the 5 worst comics I've ever hated in my entire life, Joan Rivers.
Really?
I can't even begin to describe how I hate Joan Rivers. I hate Joan Rivers the way I hate Meryl Streep, with a vile, disgusting, crusted over hatred.
All Joan Rivers is an old Jew comic, but a female.
No. What she is a big pain in the ass.
Big pain in the ass.
And I listened to her, and I was like, okay, I'm going to listen just so I can reaffirm my hate. And for the couple of minutes, she did every single thing that I hate that she did. Every single line. Because really, her stuff was all one-liners if you listen to it. It's
she's
very
old
Henny
school.
Youngman,
Yeah, she's
okay?
yep.
Which was the worst thing for what she did. Because after every one-liner, which was every 30 seconds or so, 15 seconds. No.
Oh, yeah.
She's her nails are so long she could tickle her own brain.
Yeah, you're right. She does.
The business die, and she's. Let the people laugh. You don't have to. What is that? And it was. If you listen closely, it's never words.
No.
It's never like she was trying to say something else or make it sound like it was something else to come. It was just, and so she was so fat she had her own zip code. What is that shit?
I don't know. That's like Dice going, oh!
Well, you know what?
That worked, though.
That wasn't... He didn't do it as much as, let's say...
No, he didn't do it every joke.
Right. Who do I hate that does something every joke is stupid? I hate catchphrases. Oh.
Get her done.
Yeah, that son of a bitch. That Larry, the asshole. Get her done. That's, you know what that is? That's, you're not laughing at my joke?
Yeah.
Well, how about this? Get her done. Ha! We love that. Get her done. What the hell does it even mean? The first time he ever said it, when he first realized he could get a laugh for some stupid line like that, how did he use it?
I don't know.
What did it mean?
I love how that's not even him.
Oh, it's not.
It's not even his. It's a total act.
He's got virtually no accent whatsoever.
His name's like Doug or some shit, or Dan.
Dan, whatever.
Yeah, he's got no accent. He's not even a hillbilly.
And he is stupid rich.
Oh, my dude, he's
stupid, filthy, ridiculous.
Look, they gave him a fucking roast on Comedy Central, and they only do that for the richest dudes.
He's like Ron White would say, he's loaded. And I hate him. Oh man, that guy's funny. Ron
White, yeah, I haven't seen him in a while. I wonder if he's still even doing stuff.
I don't know.
He's got money now too, where he could sit back and hang.
Well, a lot of these guys, now that they know how to handle their money, celebrities, a lot of them, they're, you know what it is? It's like sports figures, although they get hurt, okay?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Years ago,
your career ends.
Right. They used to work through being injured.
Yeah.
Now, they don't have to. Now, they're only playing for 5 or 6 years, and they're done. They bank their money, and now they have some awareness of watching their money, even though somebody else is handling it.
And a lot of them, too. I mean, depending on who you are, a lot of them either start coaching or they become a commentator or something like that. Like, you're still making money. Still working.
And in the music business or the comedy business, which is very similar.
Look at fucking Michael Strahan. He's the new Regis.
Michael Strahan has got his digits in every pie from here to L.A.
Yeah.
The dude, he was catching a ball. He didn't throw a ball, right? He caught the ball.
No, he caught the ball.
He caught the ball for a couple of years. Now, he is on every show. He's hosting everything.
Yep.
The dude's wealthy, and it's got nothing to do with sports.
No, transcended football big time. Just,
And the thing is he that good of a when I watch him in I'm like, is he this good of a presence that he really should be like hosting?
People just like him. I guess he's just friendly and they dig his act, like
to be doing interviews and everything. And I don't know, whatever. Maybe he is. I'm not saying anything bad about the guy. I got nothing against him. He's okay. He doesn't. I don't think he's wonderful. I don't think he stinks. He's just a dude. He's an okay dude. I am very glad that people with big noses, spaces in their front teeth, whatever, can make it nowadays without having to be so nuts about their because I don't know if it's true or not, if the plastic surgery thing is calming down or not, but not everybody's getting everything fixed.
Yeah.
A dude like Michael Strahan or a singer. Who's the big? She's a singer. She's black and she's got a big space in her front teeth. I forget who it is, but she doesn't have to have. Oh, does it Wendy Williams? Does she? No.
I have no idea.
Whatever.
But anyway, I mean, once you hit like a certain status too, though, those things become your trademark.
Right.
You know, so don't change it. You know what I mean?
That was like Barbara Streisand years ago was like that.
Yeah.
With the big nose and everything. She said, "I'm not fixing it because of whatever reason." And now it's, but you know what I noticed just this morning?
What's that?
Just since we're talking about politics.
Yeah, great.
I'm the worst at segues. With all the crap that's going on in politics now, with all the scandals and the arrests and the investigations and everything, have you noticed that the government hasn't done anything in the past year and a half? They haven't done any governing at all. They passed the tax bill, okay? Whether you think it's good or bad, they passed the tax bill. And anything else?
I don't know.
Everybody hangs on tweets.
Dude,
and the scandals and the porn stars and
that's
the
who we
affairs.
got. That's what we.
Yeah, I know. But during this time, okay, when they speak to, I guess the only thing that maybe something was tried to do was the gun control with all the marches, but nothing's happened.
Right.
They made a big deal about the marches, and they always do. But marches don't change anything.
No, never.
Legislators do. Now, every time they speak to somebody in the Congress, whether it's a senator or a congressperson, it's always, what do you think about what's happening with the White House? What do you think what's happening with the investigation? What do you think what's happening with all the firings and the quittings? But when was the last time that this, tell me more than the tax thing. Okay, they tried the healthcare thing, that didn't work. Couldn't pass anything, right? And then they did the taxes, and then there's a bunch of marches. But in the last year and a half since this guy has been in office, has anything been done?
No.
There's been no governing in the country. He dropped some bombs in Syria twice.
Yeah, I was going to say, now we're going to war.
But it's the second time he dropped bombs in Syria, okay? But even then, that's finished. He said mission accomplished is done. Yeah. Right? That same day, done.
Whatever.
So who's governing? Who's doing anything? I think that for the Congress people who are really used to doing nothing, this is like been a vacation for them. For the last year and a half, they haven't had to do anything.
No.
Nobody stood up and said, are you guys passing any laws? Are you, when was the last time you heard anything from the Supreme Court?
Yeah. No, the country's still just sitting around going, I can't believe this guy.
They're just watching. It's a tabloid. We become the National Enquirer.
What did he tweet today? And every news channel is going to tell you what he tweeted, and then, that's it.
Now, since the tweets are very, very obviously nothing more than distractions to try to get your attention away from the Russian investigation, once he gets impeached, which he will, okay, after they finally interview him, when Mueller gets his grips into him, okay, and then they impeach him, whether or not he gets kicked out of office, once that actually, the ball gets rolling and you can't avoid the Russia investigation anymore, what's going to happen? The tweets are going to have to stop, or at least calm down, because there's no more distractions. So, is anybody going to do anything?
I don't know.
I mean, we have one of the most do-nothing governments, and it's been that way for not just during the time that he's been in office, but the government.
We didn't do shit when Obama was around either.
Or Bush.
No.
Nothing's. When was the last time the government actually governed? And do we need, at this point, You're talking about overspending in the government, okay? They take, they spend they waste 10 to 100 times what they take in the personal federal income tax every year.
Yeah.
So still they don't need our money for taxes. Interesting they've been talking about this on tax day today, right?
Yeah.
Today's tax
Oh, it
day.
is. That's right.
Yep.
Nah, whatever. I don't get any anymore.
So they waste all this money, right? Think about what we waste on the politicians. Okay?
Oh, jeez.
They and their families get all the attributes that come with being a politician.
Yeah.
Okay, all the free health care,
Yeah, of
all the
course.
free, this and all the concessions and everything, even after they leave office. Okay? So think about this. Talking about revamping the government, okay? We have 2 senators from each state.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need 2 senators from each state? Can we do 1?
No. Yeah.
We could do 1.
Well, why not?
So that would give it half the Senate right off the bat. Okay? That's half of all the money they spent in the Senate, chop it in half right away. Okay? And then, I don't know, the House of Representatives, who the hell picked 435?
jeez.
Where'd they get that number from? It can't go up and it can't go down. Why?
All those assholes need to go. Like, just why?
But we certainly could use less. We
Why?
could use less.
Why are some of these dudes sitting around for like are gonna die in these positions?
No.
Why?
It's amazing to me that so many of them, especially Republicans, are not going to be running again or quitting or whatever, or resigning or retiring because they got it sewn up. I guess they get what they're getting even if they quit, right?
I think so. That's why.
If they quit, they still get the lifetime health care for their
it's
families.
yeah.
Speaking about quitting, after Nixon resigned, I wonder if he continued to get all the concessions. I think he did. He quit.
He quit. He was
And they
president.
still guarded. They bodyguarded him right into the grave.
Yeah, I doubt they were like cut him off. He was president of the United States and he quit.
They Secret Service him right to the grave. Right, him and his wife and his kids.
Yep.
Man, we put a lot of money into these people. We really do.
They're all
And
assholes.
they don't do
shit. No.
When is somebody going to finally stand up and say, the whole system is so irreparably broken, it's so screwed up and stupidly and so badly conceived?
It's like high school cliques.
The Constitution.
You know what I mean? Like
the Constitution has a very good idea.
It's like that. It's like that's the cool kids. You know what I mean? Like,
and we
and they never did fucking shit either for anybody.
You're right.
And
then 10 years
no
later, at the reunion, they're still the cool kids.
They're still the cool kids, and no one's taking them out of that position. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no. So you know what? When you're trying to get a job, when you're begging people to give you a job as a politician, you're it's not just what the job you're asking for. It's a lifetime of concessions.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime of goodie bags.
You're joining, but it's a lifetime of goodie bags. But you're also joining a gang.
Well,
and you got to keep your mouth shut, and you got to freaking do, like. There's that's another thing too, is that it's a little mafioso in a way. You know what I mean? Like, how many of our politicians have died at the hands of others, that because of secrets and things like that, and
yeah, absolutely. I know exactly what you mean. The interesting thing though is that if you look at the government as a whole, you can look at it 2 ways. You can look at the government as a whole as a big clique. Okay?
Yeah, that's the way I feel about it.
But you can also look at it as 2 gangs. If you want to look at the liberal and the conservatives, there's
I
two
think they're
separate.
the same now.
But they end up, if you watch it, they argue and scream and yell at each other on the floor of the Senate,
Right.
if that, or the Congress,
And then they go and have drinks together.
and they all screw each other at the end.
Yep.
It's all one big swinger group together.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
end of the, and so it's all a show.
Yeah.
It's a show to take your mind off of the fact that they're not, and I'm not being a conspiracist. Conspiracist?
Conspiracy. Is that a
conspiracist? I think.
Conspirator?
A conspirator. Okay, I'm not going.
Look at me correcting you.
Well, wait a minute. I would think a conspirator would be somebody who's involved in the conspiracy. Somebody who's just coming up with it, who's just theorizing the
No,
conspiracy.
what are you, conspiriologist? That's someone in the profession of conspiracies. Of
Conspirologist, expialidocious.
expialidocious.
Anyway, I think that it's all a ruse for them to get free shit while they do nothing and you don't realize
I'm glad you said ruse. I used that word the other day and I felt accomplished.
Did you?
But yeah.
Small word.
Yeah,
Lots of money in that
yeah.
word. But I don't think that... I think just like Trump is trying to use his tweets about mundane bullshit...
That's the ruse right there.
To try to take your mind off of his shortcomings. The government in general is trying to make you forget on a daily basis that they ain't doing nothing.
Right.
They do nothing. They do nothing. If you look at pick any Congress, because each year it's a different Congress. Pick any year of Congress, especially over the last 10, 15 years. Look at how much they accomplish at the end of the year, and it probably could have been done in 1 month, rather than 1 year.
But it was a hell of a good year, man. Partying and hanging out, getting that money, and getting my free haircuts and doctor's visits.
Washington is a big party town for the politicians.
Dude, it is. Yeah, it is. It's, God damn it.
I used to say I should have gone into plastic surgery, but I'm thinking maybe politics would have been better.
Yeah.
And you know what? Years ago, you had to be clean. You had to stay clean if you were a politician. Now it's almost a positive thing to be dirty.
Yeah.
You know what? Not to get into the whole Trump thing, but he's done so much worse than all the other presidents combined.
It's true.
And there have been presidents that have had affairs.
Well, this is the thing too that I gotta say is that the one that everybody's harping on right now, Stormy.
Yeah, well, she's the one with the biggest mouth, so
and everything. Yeah, but the thing is, this all happened. See, I don't give a shit what the hell he did before.
Right. Well,
office.
That's not okay. Now we're starting to sound like The View. Okay, it's not.
Please don't call me The View. God damn it! I'm not.
It's not okay.
Well,
put
my microphone down.
It's not that when this shit happened. It's the fact that the payoff to keep it quiet.
The payoff to keep it quiet. I understand.
Could have been against the law.
Against the law, right?
It could have been an unreported campaign contribution, which would make him liable for the fallout from it.
Yeah, because I mean, just like when Clinton didn't inhale. I don't care if he did or did not, man. This dude was in college. I don't care.
I don't care about the blowjob with Monica Lewinsky, and he was in office then.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. But that's the thing, though. If people did want to bitch, he's in office with an office intern or whatever. So if you got something to bitch about, there's something to bitch about.
You know what?
But
people...
Because a president shouldn't be doing that shit. All right, fine.
Some of the people that are most loved in history and thought of as the most magnanimous people, the people that were the most saintly, all had flaws that the average person would have caused the end of their relationships.
Oh, dude,
people have to talk to them. From Mother Teresa to Martin Luther King to Mahatma Gandhi to Abraham Lincoln to George Washington and Jesus. You know, and all these people, as a matter of fact, the flaws of Jesus Christ are some of the bases of the religion of Christianity, you know?
Don't get me started on that guy. We'll have it. We got another 3 hours?
We don't even have 3 minutes, but it's true. But this guy, every single thing, every day, it's another indiscretion, and I don't know that would necessarily... Should that keep somebody from holding office?
I don't know. I'll tell you the truth right now.
Should we really expect these people to be so above?
I don't. Right now, I don't see anything happening. I actually don't even see him getting impeached. No, I think we are so beyond what our government used to stand for that none of it matters anymore. That it's all just we're the new Ringling Brothers. And
but you see, here's the problem. So much of America loves it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
America loves... what's the greatest selling magazine? I think it might be People now.
People?
Okay?
Is it People now?
It's people love celebrity gossip.
Yeah.
There's more than 20 or 30 shows on TV all about it. That's really what the morning shows are all about. It's all gossip.
I was in line at the store the other day. And, that's where they got the Inquirers and all that shit. And I'm looking at it. It's like, oh shit, Brad moved back in with Angelina, and it's a freaking picture from a drone like 50,000 feet in the air.
Two blobs.
showing like a down shot of a driveway with a moving truck with people moving stuff out of it. And it's like, Brad moved it back in with Angelina. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, and you're going to, who the fuck cares?
It's true. It's absolutely true.
But the thing is, people do.
That's why they put a reality star in the White House. And if you think about it, that's really what they wanted, I guess.
That's what they wanted.
They want a show, you know?
That's what it's what they wanted, and it's also what racist America wanted.
But the problem is, while you're enjoying the show, they got their hand in your pocket, and their hand in your bank account, and their hand in your marriage, and their hand in your family life, and the kids' education and everything. There's some serious shit here. People are like, no, I'm just enjoying the show. Get out of my way. I can't see the TV.
Yeah.
And you know what? And when we go down the tubes because of that, we're going to damn well deserve it.
We're going to deserve every second of. Actually, Bill Burr said a great one, too, when I just brought up the racist America thing. He was bringing up, he goes, people are crying, going, oh, all the racists came out of the woodwork and elected Trump and everything like that. He goes, why? Because of what he was running against a woman? He goes, where were they when the black guy got voted in?
Yeah, that's right.
He goes, where was all the white racists going in? The black guy's okay, we can put him in there and stuff, but I'll be damned if that white woman gets in there.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
The funny thing is, just as finishing up, I was driving down here tonight and listening to the Comedy Channel, and it's always interesting to hear bits that were recorded in the past before things happen that you know now. Yeah. And this one guy starts off, I forget who he was. He wasn't a very famous comedian. And he started off the bit by saying, well, it looks like Hillary Clinton's going to win. We're going to have our first female president. And I'm thinking, oh, man, that bit right away. It doesn't work. But, it's you know what? In the words of the greatest philosopher of our time,
Mr.
Carlin, I got nothing invested in the outcome. I don't give a shit what happens.
That's right.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
That's it.
I have no idea. That's the great thing about doing a podcast. I have no idea how long it's been.
I don't know. I've been looking at the clock and I'm going, I don't know, man, but my ass hurts.
When your ass starts to hurt, that means it's just about done. No, it's been just about an hour. Look at that.
That's it.
Just about an hour. Well, you know what? I'm committing that we're going to do this regularly now.
Yeah, we should.
Because this is first of all, it's too much fun.
Yeah.
Second of all, I have shit backed up. It's like I have angst constipation. I got to get it out at least on a weekly basis. So let's say no more than a week to 10 days.
Okay.
Every week to 10 days. And hopefully things will be calming down a little bit in my life, and I'll have the time for it. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. I'm going to be moving again soon, so.
But we need it.
I need to do it. Yeah, well, especially once I do move. Yeah, I want to get out of the house.
And our adoring fans, are clamoring for it.
Yeah, so. They are. They
totally are people
knocking down my email box.
It's in his podcast. All right, and we're gonna work on a name for it.
We're gonna work on a name for the podcast. We have no fucking name yet. If you guys want to act like you listened and and write to us on Facebook. We still have the Inside Dr. Herman's Head Facebook page. You can find me, Greg Big Show Larson, on Facebook. You can find you. You
can go to Herman Family Chiropractic Center on Facebook, but we're going to be putting it back up on YouTube. We'll keep putting it under the Inside Dr. Herman's Head name.
And hopefully, as we build up shows and stuff like that, we'll be able to stretch the show out to other places too, like SoundCloud and stuff. And I'm going to look into getting on
That's
iTunes.
all on you. You figure it out.
Yeah,
I'll put it up wherever.
I'll look on iTunes and all that.
And we've been talking about doing some remotes, right?
Yeah, doing remote locations.
Maybe a show from the beach.
A show from the beach in North Carolina, possibly.
Yeah.
My man Jesse Johnson down there.
Cool.
He's a federal agent for Homeland Security.
Really?
Yeah. Well, retired now, but yeah.
Cool stuff. Be interesting to hear what they have to say.
All right, peeps. I guess we're peacing out.
Right.
How do we have to figure out how to end this show? We don't even know how to end.
I don't know. We'll just say till next show.
Till next time. Peace out.
Out.